Hello my friends, today we will be talking about the Asante culture of Ghana. As some of you may know, I made a 3D render of the Asante golden stool for a video a few years ago. But that actually wasn't the first time that I made an artwork based around the sacred object. So now I'm going to show you an old digital illustration I made in college. This older artwork of mine not only features the golden stool, but also features other Ashanti artworks, and even the king himself. An Asante king is known as an Asantehene. I made this so long ago that I forgot some aspects of the image. When making this particular image of the king, I think my intent was one of these two possibilities. I was either trying to make an interpretation of the first Asantehene, Osei Tutu, or I may have been just trying to make a sort of generic image of an Asantehene. What I do remember for sure is that I looked at a number of different Akan royals in order to make this artwork, and the person who influenced the look of this character the most was Opokuwari II, the 15th king of the Asante. Since his image was such a big influence in this artwork, let me present a very brief biography of him. Opokuwari II was a modern king who ruled from 1970 to 1999. Being that his reign was in modern Ghana, that of course means that his political power was far more limited than the kings of the past, since Ghana is a constitutional democracy with executive, judicial, and legislative branches. Though it's also worth noting that Opokuwari II was king since 1970, and from what I understand, the government of Ghana changed a lot within that span of time in which he was around. Anyway, the reason I bring all this up is to point out to viewers that even though Africa still has kings, most of them are not monarchs in the ancient sense, just like how the current Queen of England does not have sweeping powers that she would have in the centuries past. So, what did Opokuwari II do in his time? Well, before he was king, he was a lawyer, and eventually he became Ghana's ambassador to Italy. But in 1970, the king ended his role as ambassador when Prempeh II, the former king, died. Opokuwari II was chosen as his successor to the throne. The Asantehene was the spiritual and cultural leader of his people. He ruled on disputes of land, and he appointed judges to settle civil suits and imprison criminals. The king received payments on royal lands, and anyone who wished to make major development in Asante lands needed his approval. An important example of this would be the digging of gold mines, since after all, there's a reason why they call it the Gold Coast. So that's my short summary of the man who largely inspired this illustration. Above his hand, I depicted the golden stool hovering in the air. As stated in my Top 10 Thrones video, this stool is said to be a gift from God, which carries the soul of the whole nation. Although I talked about it previously, here's something I'm pretty sure I didn't tell you about the golden stool. In 1900, the British colonizers sought to obtain the golden stool. This began a revolt, which was led by the Asante Queen Mother, Ya Asantewaa. This was known as the War of the Golden Stool, which led to the deaths of 2,000 Asante and the deaths of 1,000 British and British allied troops. The British were never able to seize the golden stool. The Asante were able to hide and bury their sacred artifact. Unfortunately, some non-Asante African construction workers unearthed the stool in 1921, and they stripped the stool of much of its gold. These men were later sentenced to death for the desecration of the holy object. However, some of the original stool remained intact, and it was restored to its former glory and continues to be an important cultural symbol for the Asante people. Of course, the golden stool isn't the only sculpture I drew in this image. You may have noticed all these metal vessels around the king. These are known as kuduo. They are essentially African treasure chests. Now remember, I made this when I was still new to African art, so when I first saw the kuduo in one of my books, I thought to myself, oh shit, Africans got some cool ass treasure chests. I'm gonna draw some of these motherfuckers. And after that, I drew some of those motherfuckers, 'cause they look cool. That's literally the only reason they're in this artwork. That's a good enough reason if you ask me. Anyway, these vessels were used in some traditional events such as enthronements, soul-washing rites, puberty ceremonies, and funerals. And inside of the kudo, various important things could be stored. For example, gold nuggets and gold dust would be stored in some kudo, and in order to measure this gold, the Asante would use gold weights. You can see one such weight in the illustration. It's that tiny bell over here. The gold weights came in various shapes and sizes. Some depict animals, others are based on Asante cultural items, and a few are inspired by outside cultures that the Asante traded with. Like this bell, for example, is based on a European bell. As for why I chose a bell, it's because I had a small empty space on the floor here, and I wanted a shape to fill that negative space in a harmonious way that would help the flow of the art, and the bell just so happened to fit nicely in there. Speaking of stuff that helps the art flow, there's something else poking out here from the palace interior. It's the handle of an Asante sword, and it's positioned to help your eyes flow toward the golden stool, which of course is the focus of the artwork. As for the sword itself, it's known as an akrafena, and just like in the photo, the handle is raised up, suggesting that a member of the king's court is by his side behind the wall. Which reminds me, my teacher actually suggested during our class critique that I should draw some more people in front of the building to help get across to the audience the idea of this man being a king. And I understood why she made this suggestion. It's because the average person doesn't know shit about Africa, and therefore will not necessarily see that this character is a king. The American education system, for the most part, with few exceptions, has not taught Americans a damn thing about Africa. It's mostly focused on Western culture, and not much else. Which means when an American thinks of a king, they will undoubtedly think of a European king with a generic European crown. So yeah, my teacher's suggestion to include more people makes sense, since it could potentially have helped ignorant Americans visually connect the dots and realize they're looking at a king. And normally, you should take your teacher's advice, but I just was not into this idea of drawing more people. First of all, that's a massive amount of stuff to add to this artwork, and there was a deadline that was fast approaching. You know, you can't just spend forever. It's a college assignment. You gotta get the shit done. But more importantly, I didn't want to cover up all the lovely relief carvings on the building, because showing off all this elaborate art of the Ashanti architecture was also a big part of my design for this piece. So I stuck with what I had, and luckily my teacher still gave me a good grade. Again, I just want to stress that if you are a college student, you should do what the professor asks you to, since they do decide whether you pass or fail. This was just a rare instance where I decided to do what I felt was right for my artwork at the time. Now originally, at this point of the video, I was considering going in depth about the details of Ashanti architecture. But it occurred to me that since I already have plans to make a video all about architecture, I might as well save that discussion for another time. And speaking of my future videos, as some of you may know, I'm now trying to upload on Thursdays at 2 o'clock. But having said that, I'm currently working on some videos about Madagascar's culture. Well, Madagascar's cultures, I should say. And for cultural reasons, I believe that it would be best if I were to upload those videos on Friday at 2 o'clock. Now, I don't know for sure if a Madagascar video is going to be my next video, but my point is that those videos and possibly some other videos in the future will not be on Thursdays, but will still come at 2 o'clock. Though having said all that, I am still new to this whole scheduling thing, so if the video is late, well, I apologize in advance. But you know what? You never have to miss a single video if you remember to click the subscribe button and click that bell next to it, because the bell will give you notifications for whenever a new video comes up. Additionally, if you like helping this channel grow, then you can click that like button, and also your comments help the channel grow as well. So comment down below and let me know what you think of this artwork I did in college. Alrighty, that's all for now. Have a great week, my friends.